Hi, Ms. Lemke. This is Michaela Wiebe, and I am recording my speech for my person of interest. I am here with my mom, my neighbor Debbie, my neighbor Missy, and my dad, who is, once again, running the camera. Right, here we go. You know, if your stepsister says that someone named Helen is coming for you, maybe you should listen to them. Growing up, one of my favorite authors was Mary Downing Hahn. She wrote so many good ghost stories, which I loved. But it wasn't until I did this project, however, that I realized what an accomplished author she was and how esteemed her work was. When Mary Downing Hahn writes a book, she works along steadily until that magic moment when the characters develop their own voices. Whether it's a mean-mouthed boy who is hiding family secrets or a girl who's terrified of the ghostly presence haunting her small stepsister. This author's characters tell their own stories, both believably and intriguingly, as said by Virginia Johnson on librarypoint.org, updated August 29, 2017. There are many things to talk about with Hahn, but I will focus on her life, her books, and the awards that she has won. Hahn's life started just like everyone else's, when she was born, obviously. Hahn was born and raised in College Park, Maryland on December 9, 1937. At first, Hahn did not like writing at all. As Hahn herself says on the children'sbookguild.org, last updated in 2005, requirements such as outlines, perfect penmanship, and following directions killed my interest in putting words on a page. All those facts, who cared what the principal products of chili were? To me, writing reports was almost as boring as math. Despite not liking to write, Hahn loved to make stories, so she wrote them as drawings, not as words on a page. As Hahn grew, her stories became more complex, and so she needed words to describe them, so she began to write. Hahn continued to write all throughout junior high, high school, and college, and went to teach art at a junior high. Hahn quit after her marriage and the birth of her daughters. After a divorce, Hahn went back to work as a library assistant and began to write again. Hahn's first book to be published was The Sarah Summer when she was 41 years old. That shows that it's never too late to achieve your dreams. Hahn continued to write books and quit her job at the library once her income was steady enough. She continued to write an average one book a year since her first book published. She now lives in Columbia, Maryland, and writes full-time. With the publishing of her first book, Hahn started an amazing career with some books that would be considered must-reads. Hahn wrote many books in many different genres like paranormal stories or historical fiction. Two of each I will be discussing. Wait Till Helen Comes is probably one of the, if not the, most famous of Hahn's works. It tells the story of a blended family that has moved to a renovated country church in the middle of nowhere. Soon, 12-year-old Molly suspects that there is something wrong with her 7-year-old stepsister Heather, when she seems to spend all of her time next to a certain grave in the cemetery next door. She soon learns that the Helen that Heather has been talking about is real, and she's coming. Stepping on the Cracks is not a paranormal fiction, but rather historical fiction, and one heavily inspired by Hahn's childhood. In College Hill in 1944, 12-year-olds Margaret and Elizabeth are hoping that their brothers will be back from the war in Europe in time for Christmas. In the meantime, while tracking their arch-enemy Gordy, they discover a secret that Gordy has been hiding in the woods. As said on kirkusreviews.com, last updated May 20th, 2010. Like Teresa Nelson's and One Retail, 1989, about the Vietnam era, Hahn's story recreates tensions and moral climate of its period in authentic detail, subtly portraying the contrasting attitudes of several adults during a time when any unpatriotic thought was quickly condemned. She sets the stage for the girls' compassionate, unorthodox response to their moral dilemma. Suspenseful, carefully thought out, and thought-provoking, a fine achievement. Hahn has written many books over the years, and with many great books come many great awards, some of them even more than once. As related to Nebraska, the Golden Sawyer Award is one of the best awards an author can receive from us. The Golden Sawyer Award is given to an author that is voted for by children all across Nebraska who can vote for their favorite author and the book that made them choose them. Mary Downing Hahn has received a total of 5 of these awards. The first was in 1990 for Wait Till Helen Comes. The second was in 1994 for Stepping on the Cracks. The third came in 2007 for The Old Willis Place, Mom's favorite. The fourth in 2010 for Deep and Dark and Dangerous, a ghost story, which I do not have with me. And the latest award came in 2012 for Closed for the Season. The fact that she has won so many of these awards attests to her accomplishments. Hahn has also won many state awards similar to the Golden Sawyer, like the Kansas William Allen White Award and the California Young Readers Medal, as well as several international awards. Through all of this, it is easy to see why Hahn is such an acclaimed author. There's a reason why Hahn was one of my favorite authors growing up, and I hope I have done her justice in this speech. I hope that I have inspired you, my audience, knowing about her life and books and her awards, that you seek out her books as well. Even if you don't like ghosts or spooky stories, you can probably still find something that you like among Hahn's works. And even if you can't, that still doesn't diminish as she's an acclaimed author. I hope that you enjoy her works as much as I do, and that she continues to write more in the future.